Hello all, if you are new, my name is Marin. Welcome to another reading vlog. This is going to be my final vlog for 2024, which is crazy. And I am going to be using this vlog to finish the final book from my December TBR, which is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. So I do have this Penguin cloth-bound classic version. I really love the covers of these. This is a little bit chunky, but I have an audiobook, so I think we should be good getting through this book in this vlog. This vlog is scheduled to go up on December 31st, New Year's Eve, so I need to get the book finished by the 30th. Today is the 27th. As you saw, I went and did my eye exam, which was way overdue. I also do have my regular glasses back because the replacement frames came in yesterday and I was able to just pop the lenses out and put my prescription lenses in. So we're back to my normal glasses, but yes. The goal is going to be to read this. I was finishing another book up while I was actually waiting for the eye doctor. I was able to read almost the entirety of Blood at the Root by Patrick Phillips. Highly recommend that one. It was horrifying, enraging, and heartbreaking all in equal measure. It details the racial cleansing of Forsyth County, Georgia back in 1912. And then the 50 years long, actually longer than that, before they finally started letting Black families move back in. So it definitely was a difficult read, but I would highly recommend. I thought it was extremely well done. So that is what I was working on before I started this vlog, but this is going to be the focus for this vlog. I don't know a lot about Sense and Sensibility. I have read a few other Jane Austen books at this point. I've read Pride and Prejudice, I've read Emma, and I've read Persuasion, I think. I'm kind of looking. Yes, those are the three that I've read, so this will be the fourth one that I have read from this author. I liked Persuasion. I thought Emma was fine, and I thought Pride and Prejudice was fine. So I'm not like a huge Jane Austen lover, but I am trying to read all of her books at some point just to see if maybe I'm just missing something. So I did enjoy Persuasion though. I think that was the one that I read most recently. And so this, we will see how this goes. But yes, this one is a little bit longer. It's got pretty small font, but I will be using the audiobook as well as the physical book to read this. So hopefully I will enjoy it. I will probably come and just do a quick check-in when I get to around the 100-page mark. So let me see what chapter that would be. So that's going to be about 14, I think, chapter 14. Of course, it's in Roman numerals, but it's actually like page 99. So this much, and I will come give you some thoughts. The audiobook that I have of this, I think, is narrated by Rosamund Pike, who I've listened to audiobooks from before and really enjoyed. So hopefully, as I said, this one will be a winner because this will most likely be my final book of 2024. So let's hope that it goes well. So I will come back and chat with you with an update when I have one. Hello all, reading update time. I actually am coming to you a little bit later than I meant to because I am actually on page 261 and I only have this little bit left. So this will definitely get done today. Today is Monday, which is the final day of this vlog, as this vlog is scheduled to go up tomorrow. But I am enjoying this. I am getting some flashbacks to Pride and Prejudice with a couple of the plot points, particularly Marianne's not so great relationship with Willoughby reminds me a lot of the one that happens in Pride and Prejudice with the youngest sister, Lydia, is that her name? I can't even remember what the guy's name is, but that relationship kind of reminds me a bit about what happens in this one. This is, I believe, the first novel that she wrote. So it's possible that she kind of used the relationship between Marianne and Willoughby as like a basis, if you will, for the one that she puts in Pride and Prejudice. But I am quite enjoying this. I really like the narration by Rosamund Pike, and I would recommend that. So that is only available on Audible, I think. But anyway, that's how I've been doing this. I've been reading it physically and listening at the same time, and I've been having a good time. So this is almost finished. I like it more than Pride and Prejudice. I still think Persuasion is my favorite. One thing that kind of makes me laugh in all of these books, although I don't remember a lot about actually reading Pride and Prejudice, that was a long time ago, but the cattiness of the female characters in these books is just really something else. And the same is in this one. There's like so much cattiness between the female characters, and it's really kind of funny to read. I do like the main narrator, Eleanor, a lot. I think she might be my favorite narrator, but we'll obviously see how the book goes. I have enjoyed the look at like society at this time and how much importance is placed on finding a good marriage or a good match, which is a lot of what's happening in here. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't really have that much else to say, and I'm glad that I'm going to be able to finish this one before the end of the year. So I will come back and chat with you once I have finished the full book. I think my audio says I have like an hour and a half left of reading. So once it's done, you'll hear full thoughts, ratings, things like that. But yeah, don't have a lot to say except that I am having a good time with it, and I'm glad that I'm giving it a read. Moving on, I did get a book order in. So every year my aunt and uncle send me a gift card that I can use to purchase books. So let me go ahead and share the ones that I picked up. So the first thing I got is just a little coloring book. It's called Little Corner. I really liked this one because it's like little snapshots of places. They're simple pictures, so they're not going to be super hard to color. I thought it was really, really cute. So that is the first thing I picked up. Then I picked up some actual books. So I picked up Nothing But a Good Time, The Uncensored History of the 80s Hard Rock Explosion, which is by Tom Boujour and Richard Bienstock, I'm not really sure. I have the audio of this, but I wanted the physical book as well. There are pictures of like some of the random like 80s hair metal groups, and if you watched my vlog where I read The Dirt, you know that this is a genre of music that I'm a huge fan of. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. It's told in, I guess, interview style, if you will, and it looks like they did interview, yeah, they interviewed a lot of members of bands and things like that. So I think it's going to be a good time. So it's quite chunky, but I think this is going to be fun to read. Then I picked up Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. It says Notes from the Women That a Movement Forgot. This is actually going to be a buzzword pick later in the year because one of the buzzwords is like memory-based words, so forgot is that memory-based word. I've wanted to read this for a really long time. I actually thought it was longer. I'm surprised it's not. This one is only 258 pages, so I've heard good things. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Then I picked up Salt Houses. This is by Hala Aliyan. I'm not sure how to say that name. She is a Palestinian author. This is a book that follows 3 generations of Palestinian family as they scatter across the globe and bring us to a greater understanding of how we carry our origins and our hearts wherever we may roam. I've heard really good things about this. I want to support more Palestinian authors. This one had been on my to-read list for a few years, and I'm looking forward to reading this one. I think it's going to be a really beautiful story. Then I picked up 2 books from my 2025 TBR. I'll link that up in the cards if you missed it, but it has been part of this Bookmas series, and that is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This is the start of a new series. We have a witchy coven set during the time of Elizabeth I, so I'm looking forward to reading this. I've heard good things. And likewise, we have Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. This one came out, was it last year or the year before. Let me see, 2022. So this came out in 2022, but I feel like it got a lot of hype when it first came out. The ratings aren't as good as they were when they came out, but I still think this sounds like a really good time. It is the start of another series, but I've wanted to read this one since its release, so I finally picked it up and will be reading it as part of my 2025 TBR. So you will definitely see these two in the upcoming year. So there you go. That is just my quick little book haul. Now I'm going to go ahead and film my TBR video for January. I will give you a sneak peek a little bit because I am doing a new TBR game this year. I have talked about it a couple of times, but here is just a little sneak peek. Okay, that's the new TBR game. So that video will be up after this one. So you can keep an eye out for that if you're curious to see how that goes. But otherwise, that's all I've got for you. Once I finish this, you will hear my full thoughts, so I will see you then. All right, y'all, I have finished Sense and Sensibility, which I'm giving 4 stars. I still think Persuasion is my favorite, but I had a lot of fun with this one. I very much would recommend the audio. I had a great time listening and following along physically. Her accent really brought the story to life, kind of set the scene a little bit better. So if you are curious about the one that's narrated by Rosamund Pike, you need to get that on Audible, as I already mentioned, but I would recommend listening or reading the book in that way if you have not, because I had a lot of fun with this. As I mentioned, the characters are a hoot. Just the way that they talk to each other, the inner thoughts that they have about some of them is very, very funny. And I very much enjoyed Eleanor as the main narrator and following along with her heartbreak and her love for her sister. I liked how close-knit the family was, and I just had a good time with this. So this is a great way to close out my reading of 2024. This brings me to my 8th classic read. So I did have a goal to read at least 6. This is the 8th one, so we can check that goal off, which is exciting. But yeah, highly recommend if you have not read it. I'm very slow with these. I do want to read the rest of her works and kind of see where they fall, and maybe even reread Pride and Prejudice, because maybe I just was not in the right mindset for that, since I have enjoyed Persuasion and this one so much. But we'll see. I'm not making any promises. Really quickly, as you saw, I was doing some coloring. I like to just listen to the audiobook sometimes and like not read with my eyes. So I picked this book up from Target. This is a very kid-centric coloring book, but personally I like easy pictures to color. I am not a super complicated coloring girl. So you saw that I colored one that had a cat with tacos. So that is my coloring, and I had a good time. I was using the twistable colored pencils, which I have in this like old school Care Bear cousin mug. But yeah, so enjoyed that. That was a nice way to kind of break up holding the book and reading to it and then just doing some listening. So this was not very expensive. So if you have kids or you are looking for easier coloring books, you can find this at Target. But anyway, that's it. That's going to close out this vlog. As I mentioned, this will be my final book of 2024. I am going to be starting the set of novellas that are from the Inheritance Games universe. I believe there's like 5 or 6 novellas in the collection though, so I won't get it done before the end of the year. But since they're novellas, it's not really a big deal. I will listen to a few of those like throughout and hopefully finish it off within this week before I go back to work. But that one I am working on. I believe it's Games Untold, because my hold just came in at the library. So I want to go ahead and give that one a listen, but it won't be finished before the end of the year. So Sense and Sensibility will be my 114th book of the year. So pretty good overall, and a good way to end this reading vlog. and the year. So I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. I know this was pretty chill and low-key. If you did enjoy, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. If you would like to leave me an emoji, you can just leave me the book stack emoji. We'll go with simple to let me know that you made it to the end of this video. And otherwise, I will see you in my next one. Bye, everyone.